Been a strange week in news. Just a whole bunch of really tiny stories. Nothing really big and overarching. Well, outside of Joe, with his classified documents. But we'll get to the old man in a second, okay? I guess this popped up, and it was something of note earlier today. Greta Thunberg detained by German police at an anti-coal climate protest. Oh, wow, wonderful, fantastic. I wonder if she's going to get the similar treatment, okay? Is she going to be detained for 30 days? Is she going to have $4 million in assets just seized and all police officers are on a ghost hunting expedition? Yeah, I don't quite think so. And like Brother Eli points out right here, compare this to how anti-lockdown protesters were savagely beaten by the police. Yeah, exactly. I seem to remember, about this time last year up in Ottawa where the Freedom Convoy, those evil trucker terrorists from out west descended upon the nation's capital in Canada. And there was an old man who decided to honk outside of the allocated honking hours. And he was drug out of his van and thrown on the ground by the police officers that were there. But it's actually even more nefarious than this, because you take a look at this picture right here and you got the little pseudo stormtroopers, all three of them doting over and carrying the little 19-year-old harlot. Well, actually, it was just all staged, so it's really tough to care, I guess, or I don't know, maybe it's legit or something like that. But yeah, no, like you could tell, I see an original video, but I thought the picture was maybe it was a little bit better of an encapsulation at the time. But you could see some photographs, or some photographers, that's the word I'm looking for, right behind her at the same time. It's like, wow, this is a very well attended arrest ceremony, I guess. Like, is that what we're going with? But yeah, you take a look at that, okay. But at least they got a little bit of baseness to them for making her walk through the dirt. But then at the same time, it's like, why are the cops who are still wearing masks in Germany, I guess, okay, walking through the mud at the same time? You're getting everything dirty. What are you doing? So I don't know, man. I guess it's been a second since she popped off, so her invitation to Davos must have got lost in the mail, so she needs to find something else to spin herself back up into social media trending, because, what was it? Like, yeah, she's one of the trending topics, or nope. And she's gone, so I guess because you don't have Tate around to latch your name to, you'll have to get a little bit more creative. Back here on this side of the world, Joe Biden was asked about his less than stellar record-keeping abilities, okay? And how did he play it off? Just like his press secretary. I don't know what you're talking about, and then just laugh it off, because it's rules for me, not for thee, okay? It's like, I'm allowed to do whatever I want because I'm the president. Oh, what? All of that shit happened when I was vice president? Well, fuck you, that's what. I've laid out my theories about how this ultimately shakes down, so don't even need to run any of that stuff back. But maybe you should be more concerned about other investigations that might be kicking up real soon. So Biden smiled and laughed as he ignored a barrage of questions from reporters about classified documents scandal that has engulfed the White House. Has it really, or do they just continue to go, I don't know, you should ask other people, and it's different than the Trump one, just trust us, but we aren't going to clarify anything. The grinning Biden, but that's all that empty head can muster. So he'd be grinning if this was breakfast, if this was a rigorous journalistic grilling, or the latest Marvel movie up on the screen. Like, he's a fucking empty head, okay? But yes, he stayed silent at the end of his meeting with Netherlands Prime Minister Mark Rutte. All right, what the fuck were they talking about? While the media asked him about sensitive files found at his DC think tank and his garage and his home, which I guess a little bit of a development that I haven't talked about in a video per se. Last time I talked about this, I think it was on Sunday, with James Comer saying, okay, cool, because you had all of those classified documents and you've been doing a bunch of business dealings back at your place, why don't you release the visitor logs? And then the White House is like, haha, joke's on you, there are no visitor logs. Sorry, what? You had classified documents at your place. You were seeing people in an official capacity at your crib, but you weren't documenting who's there? Okay, cool. Can you run back the security? Okay, cool. They'll probably be down for the same time that, whenever the Bidens are there. I guess that's why they have a moat around their place, just in case there are actually any intruders that show up. The White House is also under intense scrutiny for waiting 2 months to publicly react to the discovery of the first batch of classified documents at the Penn Biden Center. Yeah, and we'd also like to know about what exactly was the thought process behind the withdrawal from Afghanistan. Still waiting on those disclosures as well, so don't hold your breath. Press Secretary Gay Blacklady has also frequently dodged questions, but then also had the audacity to say, I haven't misled anybody. Alright, princess, you just go out there and fluff your fro out, and we'll just remember that you're gay and black and not push back against you at any turn at all whatsoever, because if you do, you're a racist bigot. Trying to deflect from the controversy, the White House on Tuesday tried to attack Republicans, and what the fuck do you blame for a party that just took power? But we'll see what they're trying. And asked Kevin McCarthy to reveal all the backroom deals he made to become speaker. Well, we've kind of seen, okay, the 20 rebels that held up the nomination process. They wanted some appointments on some councils and for the Republican Party to just go out there and run some investigations, mostly against Biden. That's a lovely little deflection tactic that you're running. It's like, oh yeah, Kevin McCarthy, you weren't smart enough to steal that election. You had to negotiate. What are you doing, stupid? It's like, yeah, imagine that. Look what happens when things are transparent. There are negotiations that have to be made in order for a consensus to be reached. Funny about that. But yeah, no, that's what this grinning old asshole is out there doing, deflecting and not answering any question. Everybody's like, okay, just get out of the room. Uncle Joe's tired right now, but it's 2:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, we know. He needs to go to bed for 16 hours at a fucking clip. But eventually, he's going to have some splaining to do. There was a discovery. I seen, not in any context or anything like that. I seen it and it's like, okay, Hunter Biden was paying $49,000, just about $50,000 a month in rent. It's like, that's 50-cent levels of fucking expenditure when it comes to housing conditions. It's like, how does a simple, humble, natural resource advisor just afford that much? It really gets the old noggin jogging now, doesn't it? So Republicans rip. Hunters recorded $49,910 in rent per month and a deposit payment as corrupt. Well, whatever could you be meaning? What correlation could you have there? Republicans are raising concerns about Hunter Biden's recorded $49,910 in rent and deposit payments, following multiple inconsistencies reported by Breitbart regarding Hunter's access to the Delaware house where his father stored classified documents. Oh, so he was paying rent to his parent? What the fuck is actually going on here? Emails found on Hunter's laptop from hell shows Hunter paid $49,910 rental deposit to the House of Sweden for an office for the Biden family business ventures with the infamous CEFC China Energy Corporation. The Biden family had previously negotiated a deal with CEFC whereby President Joe Biden, the big guy, yes, 10% for him, we got to pay service to his name, would receive a 10% equity stake in a joint venture, whistleblower Tony Bobulinski stated. Interesting development there as well. Normally, it was just 10% off of any business dealing that was going down, but this one was for a percentage in the company. All right, the $49,910 deposit also matches the amount. Here's where shit gets interesting. Of money he logged as rent for housing on a 2018 background check document unearthed by the New York Post's Miranda Devine. Interesting. Okay. Was that just his general housing and board just rounded up to $49,910? Nothing specific or anything. That's just my normal going rate for wherever I hang my hat at the end of the day. The document also noted Hunter's residence was Joe Biden's home in Wilmington, Delaware, where the president kept classified documents alongside his Corvette in his garage. Very fucking interesting. The document additionally reveals Hunter checked a box showing he was the owner of the current residence. Is he? Because that would be interesting as well, because then he would also be, like if you can run back the title, because that shouldn't be that difficult to do if you have access to who owns what in the state of Delaware. If Hunter is ultimately the owner of or has a controlling stake in the Biden residency, that would mean that his home was housing presidential documents. That's a problem. That's a big fucking problem. It's not clear why Hunter noted he owned a location, or he could have just been high at the time and was like, yeah, whatever, just get it out of my face. For the president, yes, kept classified documents. The documents additionally reveals Hunter, yes, checked the box, as owner, or rather, Elise Stefanik, the third most senior, a Republican, stated Hunter and the entire Biden crime family. You know what? She's actually been pretty solid since she took over for Liz Cheney, as opposed to Kevin McCarthy. So, hey man, good for her. They will be held accountable for their threats to national security. Yeah, you'd sure hope so. Each day it becomes clear that Joe Biden and the Biden crime family are corrupt and significant threats to national security. She tweeted, our Republican House majority will hold them accountable. All right, cool. Well, demonstrate, don't explicate. I don't care what you have to say. Back it up with action. You guys have the gavel now. You can do the thing. Representative Jim Banks of Indiana, who's launching a Senate campaign for the state of Indiana as well. Good for him. I hope he becomes Senator Banks. That guy's based as all hell. Speculated Joe Biden could have skimmed the rental payments from the Biden's family business ventures. Yeah, of course, because that would make sense. Because where else, and who else would Hunter be paying for rent to the Biden family home? Like, come on, man. Fucking come on. That's one way to skim 10% off the top for the big guy, he said. Rogan O'Handley. That is a fucking Scottish name. Holy fuck. Does it come equipped with a kilt? A lawyer and civil rights activist described how he believed Joe Biden sold out America. It's simple corruption. Oh, it's simple corruption. China pays Biden via Hunter, and Hunter pays Joe. Joe sells out America, and we lose, and the people lose when the Bidens get rich. And they've been doing it for so fucking long. And don't think that the Biden family is the only one in on this scheme. Okay, it's obvious the Clintons do, but they're far more sophisticated about it. And the Obamas, well, you can't question them. They're black and engaged in a same-sex relationship, so you can't question them. But the Bidens, on the other hand, well, they're just too fucking bumbling to keep this shtick going. Several Republican lawmakers have demanded Joe Biden's impeachment. Nah, I'd rather just keep him around because I know the alternative. Unlike Joe, who forgot the name of Kamala earlier today. Like, this guy's a fucking shambling disaster. And if there's any validity to the claims that they're going to try to use this scam, this one just kind of fell in their fucking lap, okay? The powers that be, the Democratic National Party, try to use this to replace Joe Biden with Kamala, or, heaven forbid, old cackling Hillary. If they want to do that now, by all means. Otherwise, we'll have to see how much more shit is actually on the Biden family, because I would tend to believe there's probably something significantly more to this stuff. Okay, I'd imagine there's probably a couple of more classified documents that still come out, but who knows? Maybe it's even worse, but till we get more information, it's still funny as fuck at the end of the day. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.